guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel and that's been tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. If you guys are not a subscriber, go ahead and hit that little icon down the bottom of the screen and you'll be in it to win it. So I'm coming in late to the party. I'm entering into the Fat Fenders Fins and Chrome by Rob Gray from the Time Machine Scale Models channel. Sorry Rob, I'm coming in late, but hey, better late than never, right? So I am entering in with the 58 Etzel Pacer. This bad boy is still wrapped in the plastique. So this is what we're going to build. I just got to figure out what color we're going to do it in. I do like the red. I got to see what I got in inventory because I don't have time to order something just because it is Christmas time and things do not show up on time as they are. So I haven't done a red model in a while either, so maybe it is time we're going to do it in red. So this is going to be my entry into that build. I know we're on hold on the Plymouth for a little bit, and I hear Mark is doing well, so good for you, buddy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to enter with that. We're going to get started on that next video. I really want to finish the Cougar up. I had some issues with my decals. You know, the last couple AMT kits I did, decals are horrible. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know. Because the other decal set I did was on the 71 Mach 1, and that's a newer release, and the decals were just, they're horrible. They're just euchred. You know, when you pull them apart, they come out like in 20 pieces. So, I've done this before, and it works pretty good, and I'm sure you guys all know this trick. Maybe not. Before you start your decal sheet, especially if you think it's a little older, spray some of this Tester's decal bonder on it and spray this on your sheet before you do anything with it, and this will help prevent that problem. I did not do this on this. I thought the sheet was new enough looking and looked pretty good. Obviously once it's dipped in water, you kind of pass that point of no return, so didn't happen. So Cougar's going back in the box for a little bit and go from there. So the Willys Coupe build. I'm waiting for my buddy Jerry to come back over. He's been busy because of the holidays. He's picked up a couple little side jobs here and there, doing whatever. So we're going to probably get back on that maybe after the holiday or first of the year. Not sure. So anyways, I got a little how-to for you guys. It's a little janky, but it worked okay. You know the MPC kits, they always give you these. Well, we all know, most MPC kits always give you the BF Goodrich tires with the big fat lettering on it. That's nice to weather and leather. So they also give you these big fatty Goodyears. I put these on the back of my Plymouth, which I'll maybe show you a little peek sneak of the exhaust. I finished that the other night. I spent some serious hours out here the other night and finished the exhaust. I used some aluminum tubing and did a little exhaust on it. Looks pretty nice. I'll maybe give you a little shot of that. So anyways, I'm going to show you a little bit on how I did this. This is the tire I started with. This is what we end up at. So this is going to be on the front of that Plymouth. I was going to use the tires out of the Willys Coupe, but man, they just got a weird tread on them. They almost look like a truck tire once around the car. So I thought, yeah, time to move on to something different. So other than that, let me bring you over to the bench and I'll show you my little process on here. It's not nothing in depth. I'm doing it with a drill. Like I say, it's a little like, okay, but it worked pretty good, you know. And after I did that, I took some super glue. I don't think I showed that part of the video, and obviously I just took and glued the half of the tire and just lightly sat it on there. And then once I got that glued, I stuck it back in the socket and shaved it down with a just one of these sanding sticks. Just hit it with this guy. And there we have it. So it worked out pretty good. Just couldn't find a tire I was happy with. I really liked that Goodyear design on there, and I wanted it to match the back. So this was my other option, was just to shave it down, because these are obviously way too fat in the front. I mean, they're just way too big. So that's where we went. Like I say, it's a little janky, so excuse the crudeness, but it does work. So if you're doing it, just be careful. Obviously, you're running it with a razor blade. I have to say, like I say, I had a little backyardish on it. I used zip ties to hold the trigger on the drill. I had no way other, because I had to hold two hands, and I don't have a lock on the trigger on these guns. So that's what I did with it. And when I got done with it, took a pair of dikes, cut them off, and away we go. So let's take you over and get going here. Okay guys, so before we get over to that bench, I wanted to show you my exhaust I put on my Plymouth. I think that turned out pretty nice. Put myself a little equalizer piece in there. Like I said, I did aluminum drive shaft on it. I took the original drive shaft that was in the car and I just cut the ends off and made an aluminum one in there because I need one just a little bit longer. So she's all tidied up and good to go. So yeah, so it's looking pretty cool. All right, let's get over to that tire. All right guys, I need to change some wheels for the front of my Plymouth. So I made this one. It didn't turn out too hot. I thought, okay, it's gotta be a better way to do this. I need a thinner wheel than these big fatties. I want this wheel because I like the white lettering. That's the only reason I like it. Plus it'll match the back of the car. So what we're gonna do is take Mr. Drill. We'll slide this baby on here. We're gonna cut it. We'll make sure we get her on there pretty nice, pretty nice. Well, bit's got a little wobble to it, but looks like she's riding pretty good. I think it'll be good enough. Alright guys, we got some ingenuity going here. So we got a zip tie on my trigger so I can run two hands. If I hold this just right, I get a nice smooth ride out of it. Let's see if we can cut this. Oh, gotta button up my trigger a little bit here. There we go. Nice smooth cut, look at that. Well guys, I don't know what happened to that video from when I was cutting this other half of the tire. So I'm just going to do a redo just to kind of give you a recap on what happened. Maybe I just didn't hit the button on it, of course, when I cut it and that was done. So and I already made a tire and then I decided to video the second one. So this is obviously what we started with. This was our original tire. So you saw in the earlier, I stuck this on a socket and cut that down. That actually works pretty good. So I decided to cut this out and I put that back on the socket. Well, this diameter and this diameter is just a little different. And so I had to put a different socket in here, but I just could not get it true. It just sat there and wobble on me. So once you get that cut, you end up with obviously this here. Now this is one of my first attempts. So it's just a sample. This isn't the original one I did. So now you have this bigger diameter. So I took one of the, yeah, it's kind of a crappy socket I had in the garage here, and found one that fit this perfect. So it's nice. Obviously when we are cutting this, you're starting out with a bigger tire, so I had a lot more tread to work with. This slides on real nice and you can bottom it right out against the face of the tire, and that keeps it just nice and smooth. Now I did not have an adapter to go from a 3/8 to a 1/4, so I just did this one by hand. So I just set it on the bench, took my blade, and I picked a tread line of whatever thickness I wanted. And I obviously put both them same way. And I took this on here and I just slowly rotated this, keeping that knife in that tread line until I got it all the way around, cut all the way through. That worked pretty good. You end up kind of with a little sliver in the end like this guy. So all said and done, glued it together. So I only glued half at a time. I started from here just to here. I took my half and glued it, got it nice and perfect. The reason I did that, I noticed this tire isn't 100% the same from this side to this side. And even if you look at it from the side, well anyways, I found after cutting this and cutting it here, they're not 100% true. So that's why I went with the glue mark on half. Got it nice, exactly lined up where I wanted it. Let that cure for a second, and then just come over here, lift up a little bit, a little spot of glue in there, and then was able to glue that down the other side. And sanded it back down, put it back in the socket, did a little sanding, and there we go. Alright. Like I say, final product, this is what we started with. This big fatty guy here. Like I say, these are out of the MPC kits. And this is my final tire in the end. Like I say, I got a little line in there yet, but nothing overly major. Obviously it's kind of hard to do that when you're trying to cut a tire, but like I said, there's our differences. So I needed just a little thinner, and that worked out pretty good. So I made 2 of these. I just gotta finish the back up here, but that's the tire. It worked out really nice, and like I say, I just sanded it in the end and worked pretty good. Alright guys, that's all I got for you for today, and I appreciate you tuning in. And like I say, if you guys aren't a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we will see you on the next video. So you guys have a good one, and thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.